It is 5:30. We will call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Meister,
Present.
Councilmember Beltran,
Present.
Councilmember Wyrock,
Present.
Vice Mayor Carrillo,
Present.
Mayor Flores.
Present. We'll now move into oral communications. This is the opportunity to address the City Council on any matter scheduled for closed session. Unless additional time is authorized by the council, all commentary shall be limited to 3 minutes. Anyone for closed session items, oral communications? No? Anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
We'll
Honor.
move on. Please.
Tonight for closed session, we have two items. Closed session pursuant to Item 1, Government Code Section 54956.9D3, Conference with Legal Counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation, two cases in which facts not yet known to plaintiff. Item 2, Government Code Section 54956.9D4, Conference with Legal Counsel, anticipated litigation, initiation litigation, two cases.
Thank you. It is 5:31. We will now go into closed session. It is 6:30. We will reconvene open session and report on reportable action taken in closed session.
Nothing, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. I invite you to please join us and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Meister to remain standing for an invocation or a moment of silence.
Salute. Pledge.
Is there anyone that would like to come forward and do the invocation? Then please.
I'm sure everybody aware is what is going on in the world, so I would like to pray. Heavenly Father, please watch over all of those in the countries where so much anger and hate is tearing them apart. Help them to find the right way to go, and peace is always the correct way. Bless them, bless our servicemen, and bless us as we're here. Amen.
Amen. I would like to ask for a brief moment of silence to the family and to the friends of Randy Klein, who just recently passed away, who was a firefighter for the city of Porterville. Thank you. You may be seated. We will now go into the presentations for the Employee of the Month. Vice Mayor for Chris Smith. Is Chris here? Please come forward.
Yeah. Good evening.
Hello.
This is for Public Works Employee of the Month, October 2024, for Christopher Smith. Christopher Smith began his career with the City of Porterville on September 1st, 2023, as Water Utility Worker 1 in the Field Services Division of the Public Works Department. His job duties include maintenance and repair of water mains and installation of new water services throughout the city. Christopher is proud to have achieved his Water Distribution Grade 1 certificate and is currently in the process of attaining his Water Distribution Grade 2, as well as Commercial Class A driver's license. He aspires to progress and further his career as water utility worker here at the City of Porterville. Christopher is happily married to his wife of 3 years, together for 10 years. They have 2 sons, aged 2 and 4, and in his spare time, he enjoys hunting and fishing with family and friends. Christopher enjoys working for the City of Porterville because of the opportunity he is given to constantly learn and grow. He enjoys having new challenges every day to tackle. He considers his employment with the city as one of the best jobs he's had. Please join me and the rest of the council in congratulating Christopher Smith as Employee of the Month for October 2024.
Thank you. I'd like to say that I appreciate the recognition and am grateful for being selected as Employee of the Month. Thank you for acknowledging my hard work and dedication.
Oh, what an honor. Now we'll move on into the Employee Service Awards. 10-year Councilmember Meister.
Is Angelica here? Uh-oh. Oh, there she is. So 10 years of city service. Angelica grew up in Strathmore, California, and graduated from Strathmore High School in 2006. Driven by a deep sense of duty, she enlisted in the United States Marine Corps immediately after graduation. Over the course of her 9-year service, Angelica rose to the rank of sergeant and completed multiple deployments, including 2 tours in Iraq, demonstrating exceptional commitment and leadership. Following her distinguished military career, Angelica pursued a new path in law enforcement by attending the Tulare Kings County's Police Academy, graduating as part of Class 131 in July 2014. She joined the Porterville Police Department shortly thereafter on August 4, 2014. Throughout her tenure with the Porterville Police Department, Angelica has excelled in various roles, including patrol officer, narcotics, detective, and SWAT operator. She is currently assigned to the patrol division as a K-9 handler for Enzo, and also serves as a field training officer, leveraging her extensive experience to mentor new officers. Outside of her professional life, Angelica is a devoted parent to her 12-year-old daughter, Arissa. She enjoys training with Enzo and watching Arissa theater performance, balancing her demanding career with a fulfilling family life. Thank you for your continued service to the city of Porterville, and congratulations.
I would like to say thank you guys all for letting me continue being part of this community and serving you guys. It's a pleasure coming to work every day and see new faces and people out in the community and helping you guys as much as I can. I hope to see you guys in another 10 years, and thank you guys for coming. Thank you.
We need you back here.
Councilmember Beltran, the 20 years?
It is my honor to present this 20 years of city service to Anthony Tony Ariano. Tony began his dedicated career with the city of Porterville in July of 2004 as a part-time leisure services coordinator in the Porterville Parks and Leisures Department. His passion for community service and library development led to a series of promotions. First, the Library Supervisor 1 in 2005, then to the Library Supervisor 2 in 2006. In 2024, Tony was appointed as City Librarian for the City of Porterville. In his current role, Tony oversees collection development, budgeting, electronic resources, and daily administrative duties, ensuring the continued excellence of library services for the city, for the Porterville community. As a key member of the Library Facility Planning Committee, Tony is excited about the upcoming new library facility and is committed to creating a landmark that will benefit generations of Porterville residents. Outside of work, Tony cherishes spending time with his high school sweetheart and wife of 32 years, Tammy. They have 3 adult children and 2 grandchildren. When he's not with his family, Tony enjoys fixing things and finds joy in any activity or location that brings his loved ones together. Thank you for your continued service to the city of Porterville, and congratulations.
Sorry, I don't have any fancy words. I would just like to say thank you.
The 25 years, Councilmember Wyrock.
It's an honor for me to recognize Donnie Moore for 25 years of city service. Donnie began his full-time career on July 6, 1999, as a leisure services supervisor. His dedication and leadership quickly led to a promotion to leisure services superintendent in 2006. and he was further elevated to the role of Parks and Leisure Director in 2012. In his current position, Donnie is responsible for planning, organizing, administering, and coordinating a wide range of recreation, library, and park services. He takes great pleasure in the diverse nature of his job, the opportunity to positively impact the community, and working with all of his amazing coworkers. Donnie is also actively involved in several professional organizations, including serving as the past president of the California Parks and Recreation Society for District 7, co-chairing the Tulare County Parks Advisory Committee, and being a past president of the Porterville Breakfast Lions Club. Donnie has been married to his wife, Sally, for 25 years. Together they have 3 children, McKaylee, 23, Tori, 21, and Monty, 19, along with their beloved English Bulldog, Sophie. Outside of work, Donnie enjoys supporting his kids at their sports and activities, working out, running, volunteering at local track and cross-country meets, and watching the A's and Warriors. Thank you for your continuing service to the city of Porterville, Donnie Moore, and congratulations.
Just like to thank the current city council as well as past city council members. I'd like to thank my amazing Parks and Leisure Services team. They're the ones that make it all happen. They are fantastic. And it's just a pleasure working every day with you all and with them and then with all the city staff. And we have a lot of fun together, and it's a great team here in Porterville. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my family. My wife will be 26 years actually in 2 days from now. And my family, they've seen me figured out over 350 of these city council meetings I've been to over the years. And recreation also brings a lot of weekends and nights and holidays and things like that, which is great. It's just they see me kind of leave the door at all certain hours of the day and night. So appreciate all the support that they give me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A marauder. 30 years of city service. Shannon Skiles. Raised in Porterville, California, and a proud Wenatchee High School graduate with the emphasis on Wenatchee High School. Shannon embarked on a remarkable career in public safety with the city of Porterville on August 1, 1994, starting as a police officer. His career in law enforcement was diverse and impactful, encompassing roles such as patrol officer, SWAT officer, gang officer, school resource officer, detective, and officer in charge. In 2003, Shannon transitioned to the Porterville Fire Department, where he has continued to excel. Shannon's fire service career is marked by steady advancement through the ranks, beginning as a firefighter and rising to fire engineer in 2012, fire lieutenant in 2016, fire captain in 2019, battalion chief in 2021, deputy in chief 2022, and currently serves as acting fire chief. With over 30 years of dedicated service, Shannon has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of Porterville residents. Shannon's exceptional service has been recognized with numerous accolades, including Police Officer of the Year, Firefighter of the Year, and the prestigious Medal of Valor. Shannon's dedication exceeds beyond his employment with the city of Porterville. He has worked as an EMT with Imperial Ambulance Services and has taught as both a professional expert and adjunct instructor for Porterville College, teaching both in the Fire Academy and emergency medical technician classes. Shannon is married to Stacy, and together they have 3 children, Chancey, Tana, Haley, as well as 4 grandchildren, Natix, Kylo, Braxton, and Isaiah. Shannon enjoys spending his free time outdoors, engaging in activities such as hunting, fishing, and foraging. Above all, he treasures the time spent with his family. Thank you for your continuing service to the city of Porterville, and congratulations.
Are you sure 30 years that can't be right?
He's only 35 now.
Exactly, right?
Well, you have the first key to the city.
Exactly. No, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, council, and past and current city employees. Most of all, my wife, she's probably one that deserves the award more than I do. It's a weird feeling, right? I was talking to her about it this other night. It's like, I realized after I hit my 30-year mark, it's like, I've actually worked here in my life longer than I've been alive. Not longer than I've been alive, but longer than I have not worked here. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I've been drinking when Anyway, no, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to serve, and I enjoy all my time.
Once I saw Menachie High School, I knew that was it. Now we'll move on to oral communications. This is the opportunity to address the council on any matter of interest, whether on the agenda or not. Please address all items not scheduled for public hearing at this time. Unless additional time is authorized by the council, all commentary shall be limited to 3 minutes. You will be asked to state your name and city of residence for the record. If you are here for the public hearings, numbers 17, 18, and 19, please hold your comments when those items come up on the agenda. You will be given the opportunity to speak at that time, and we will continue to adhere to the 3 minutes per speaker time period so that we can, in an orderly fashion, proceed with the decision-making responsibilities this evening. Is there anyone that would like to come forth under oral communications? Please do so.
My name is David Horowitz. I live here in Porterville. We've been discussing problems with the trash here in Porterville and the homeless situation downtown. Nothing seems to be getting done. City employees seem to not want to do their job. The city manager seems to want to act like Hitler. When they come and illegally dump in our dumpsters, that's why the tire's here. It's a donation to you folks. So they come and illegally dump in our dumpsters, and the city management has said because they illegally dump in our dumpsters, they're not going to dump our dumpsters for us, so they're just going to let the trash sit in the dumpsters, so the homeless people then can come and pull all the trash out of the dumpsters and throw it all over the ground. So then somebody illegally dumped his tire in our dumpster. So when one of the merchants called about it, they were told that because there was a tire in the dumpster, they couldn't dump the dumpster, but for $50, they'd come and dump the dumpster and take care of the tire issue. So I'm going to donate the tire to you guys. I'm going to leave it here for you because it was illegally left for us. But I will make you an offer for $50. I'll be glad to take this tire out of here for you, okay? But it's a problem that you guys aren't addressing. We're having a major problem with the homeless. We've had young ladies go to dump trash and have to see men having sex with other men, men masturbating themselves. It's ridiculous. The defecating in the streets, and we had a problem with that because city management has decided that even though the property is city property, when somebody comes and takes a crap, they're not going to come clean it up. It's our responsibility. We're the merchants. We were told, well, that's your property. Well, no, it's not our property. It's city property. Where the dumpsters are, well, those dumpsters are your dumpsters. No, they're not. They're city property that we pay a monthly fee to use to dump trash in. So the city doesn't seem to want to handle its responsibilities here. So We really need to make some changes in our city. We need to get some management in here that will understand that they work for the citizens of the community. They're not here to make rules saying, we're not going to do anything, and you need to do it all. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Very bad. And very poor management on the part of the city. Now I understand you guys want to rush a new city manager in real quick before we have our elections and get our new council. What's the reason for that? Why can't you let the new council do the decision-making? Two of you, for example, won't be up there after the November elections, and possibly other people. Why not let the new council decide who we want to run our city? Because the old management's not working. It's terrible. We've had 15 years of John Lawless and all of what he destroyed the city with, and now you want to bring us somebody who was trained by him. Doesn't work.
Thank you.
Enjoy your time.
Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Please do so.
Brock Neely, address on record. I just wanted to point out that it's been brought to my attention that it's been brought to my attention that there's some unethical behavior happening with a particular city council candidate, removing one candidate's sign and replacing it with his own. If somebody cannot adhere to basic ethics and fairness, we don't need them up there. So remember that on November 5th when you place your ballot. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Please do so now for oral communications.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Torres, and I'm here on behalf of the Porterville Chamber. I just wanted to make a few announcements for some upcoming events and things that are going on this month. We will be holding a City Council Candidate Forum for Districts 3 and 4 tomorrow evening here at 6 p.m. here at the City Council Chambers. We will also be live streaming the forum on our Facebook page for anyone that cannot attend in person. The next First Friday Coffee will be on October 4th at 7 a.m. at the Galaxy Theaters. Our sponsor is Valley Strong Credit Union. We are looking forward to seeing everyone there. We have 4 ribbon cuttings this month. The first is for Antlers of Hope on October 5th at 12 p.m. to celebrate the opening of their business. The next is for Papas, the Loaded Baked Potato Company on October 10th at 11 a.m. to celebrate the opening of their business. After that, it'll be for Fem Power Medical on October 23rd at 11 a.m. for the opening of their new nonprofit here in the community. And after that, we'll be holding one for PSW on October 29th at 4 p.m. to learn about the new services and opportunities they have available. Our next Coffee with the CEO will be on October 16th at 9 a.m. at Stafford's. This is an opportunity for you to come and meet other members and chat with the CEO and board. Anyone who wants to discuss their business, seek advice, share their needs, or wants to come and chat is welcome to join us. We also have 2 special events coming up. Our annual awards and installation ceremony will be on November 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Springville Ranch, where we'll be honoring our awards recipients. We will be introducing the nominees on our social media pages throughout the month. The Children's Christmas Parade planning is underway. We are planning for it to be on December 5th at 7 p.m. Parade entry applications are now available on our website. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward for oral communications? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. We are done with oral communications at this time. Okay, we'll now go on to the consent calendar. All consent calendar items are considered routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these matters unless a request is made, in which event the item will be removed from the consent calendar. All items removed from the consent calendar for further discussion will be heard at the end of scheduled matters. How does council wish to proceed? We have items 1 through 16. on the consent calendar.
Mayor, there's one clarification I'd ask before the motion's made.
Okay.
On item number 10, the staff report is, the recommendation that's in the staff report is actually incorrect, but the other numbers that are in the staff report are correct. So I just want to reiterate what the recommendation will be. It'll be to adjust the salary range for field services superintendent streets from range 218 to 220, with the amounts being $5,881 to $7,177.
Thank you.
with
That
that.
is noted because I had seen that,
Yeah.
and thank you for bringing it to attention. So with
You're
that
welcome.
one minor change, we have items 1 through 16, and how does council wish to proceed?
I'll make a motion to approve consent items 1 through 16 with noted revisions on number 10.
And I'll second that.
And we have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. No further discussion. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to public hearing number 17.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've asked Ms. Calderon to present this item.
Thank you, Mr. Ridenour. And I'm going to ask Ms. Bonique Emerson from Precision Civil Engineer, which is our consultant for the project, to present the item.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Bonique Emerson. I am a consultant planner and I work for Precision Civil Engineering. So the item before you tonight is the South of the Tule River Master Plan. So just a general overview. So the city initiated the master plan with the overall purpose of guiding future development within this plan area. And that this master plan will serve as the planning tool and process to provide the big picture vision for land use and development within this area. The master plan outlines the overall vision and identifies concepts that would be implemented in the area. And it should be noted that this is a plan only, and there's no physical development that's currently proposed as part of this project. And this project was, the development of this master plan was funded by a LEAP grant that was awarded to the city. So the project is located on approximately 447 acres and 19 parcels, and it's located directly southwest of city limits, and it's bounded by the Tule River, State Route 190, State Route 65, and Westwood Street. And you can see on the map there, it's the area that's hashed in red. So there are 19 parcels that are part of the plan area, and those parcels are also identified there individually on the map. So this slide shows the current zoning and the current land use that exist on the subject property. As you can see, currently, the majority of the property, it has a low-density residential land use designation, and it's currently zoned very low and low-density residential. So just a little bit about the public participation for this project. So there was a lot of public outreach on this project. So we held 2 community workshops and 3 property owner workshops to gather feedback and comments from the public and relevant stakeholders regarding the master plan. And also in terms of the environmental document, there was a notice of preparation, or an NOP, that was distributed by the city on March 20th of 2024. And a scoping meeting was held on April 3rd of 2024. And the responses to the NOP were incorporated into the EIR. So what does this project include? So it includes 3 main components. First, it includes a general plan amendment, and that's General Plan Amendment 2024-02, and that proposes to amend the general plan land use map and circulation map. It also includes a rezone application, 2024-001, which proposes to change the underlying zoning districts to the RN zone district. And it also includes a master plan, which in the municipal code, a master plan is treated like a conditional use permit. And the master plan, in terms of processing and approval, and the master plan proposes approval of the master plan, the South of the Tule River Master Plan. So the first component that I mentioned is the general plan amendment. So the general plan amendment would amend the general plan land use map to change the plan land use designations. On the left, outlined in black, there is the map I showed you originally that shows the existing land uses, which are mainly low-density residential with some commercial open space and a school. And the proposed land use you can see is on the right, and it includes a mix of land uses, including retail centers, mixed use, higher density residential, a business park. It does include some single-family residential and parks and open space. This is an overview or breakdown of the acreage. You can see in the center column there, that's the general plan land use designation and the acreages that are proposed within this master plan. So you can see there's about 52 acres that are planned low-density residential with medium, high density residential uses as well, along with commercial mixed use, neighborhood commercial, et cetera. So it's a wide variety of land uses that are planned within this master plan area. The general plan amendment would also amend the circulation map to include or add 2 collectors. So those collectors are shown, so on the left is proposed circulation, on the right is a map that comes from the general plan that highlights the SO2 plan area. So you can see on this map on the left, the proposed collectors are proposed A Street and proposed B Street. And those are the streets in yellow. So those are new major streets that are planned as part of this master plan. So the rezone component would change the underlying zoning districts to the RN, so that's residential neighborhood zone district. And as detailed in the master plan, although the plan area will be zoned to the RN, the uses permitted will be those contained within the corresponding zone districts in accordance with the land use and zoning consistency table. So although this is will all be rezoned to RN, so in pink there on the bottom map, I just want to go back to this table here and show you that the zoning or development standards will actually be implemented by the implementing zone district on the right. So for example, if the land use is commercial mixed use, the corresponding development standards that the project will need to be developed and approved by will be the CMX, or commercial mixed use zone district. So the final component is the master plan piece. And this, as I mentioned before, the master plan is being implemented by the RN zoning district and Article 206 of the Porterville Municipal Code, which provides the purpose of the RN district and requirements of a master plan. So this master plan, as proposed, is consistent with Article 206. And within that article, there are requirements for provisions that include consistency with the general plan, providing a wide variety of uses, including residential, parks, non-residential, neighborhood centers, key component of the RN zone district, adequate park design, street and transportation requirements, and then a requirement for a variety of housing, in-housing design. And then in terms of the elements of the actual master plan, it covers a land use circulation system, open space, utilities, infrastructure, and public services within the SO2 master plan area. And the specific elements are an introduction, vision, goals, and objectives, land use, circulation, open space and landscape, infrastructure and public utilities, and administration and implementation. And each element includes goals and policies to identify how future development will be carried out within the plan area. So the land use element within the master plan discusses the land use plan and land use goals and policies for the master plan, which will serve as the framework for all land use activities. And as mentioned before, the SO2 master plan will include 10 land uses, including residential, mixed use, commercial, employment, public, and recreational designations to accommodate efficient land use. The circulation element outlines the street systems and the bike and pedestrian networks within the plan area. And it also outlines future on-site and off-site improvements that will be required as development occurs within the plan area. So there was a traffic study that was prepared for this project, and it includes the impacts of the proposed project, and there are requirements for implementation of that within the master plan. The infrastructure and public utilities element provides a discussion and metrics for all future and planned public utility infrastructure for the plan area, and that includes sewer, water, and stormwater infrastructure. So this is just a snippet from part of the plan, and outlines the overall vision for the master plan, which states the SO2 district is envisioned to be a neighborhood with an innovative, sustainable, and balanced land use pattern, offering a large variety of housing opportunities and job opportunities. The district will include viable, pedestrian-oriented neighborhood centers and a mix of uses that is attractive to residents and visitors alike to live, work, explore, and shop. So that's the overall vision. And this is just another snippet from the master plan, just showing the bikeway network and pedestrian circulation. And as you can see, the bottom right is the bikeway and pedestrian the pedestrian plan from the general plan, and on the top is the proposed. So as you can see, this project will comply with the general plan in terms of required trails and pedestrian networks, and it will also add additional trails and pedestrian networks that were not identified in the general plan. So, for example, the general plan does call for the trail along the Tule River, but this plan goes further and provides trail connections to that trail along the river. There is an additional trail along the south, as you can see there in purple. So next, I'm going to talk about the environmental review for this project. So an environmental impact report, or an EIR, was prepared for the project to describe and analyze the significant environmental effects and discuss ways to mitigate or avoid the effects. And an EIR was prepared because air quality impacts could not be mitigated to less than significant, because it is it's a big project. So it did exceed thresholds in the areas of ROG, NOx, CO, PM10, and PM2.5. And those are all air contaminants that are regulated by the Air District. So the environmental review, the EIR was released for public comment. It was a 45-day public comment period. 4 comment letters were received. The response to these comments are contained in the packet that you guys have. And the mitigation and monitoring reporting program contains a table with the required mitigation measures, the responsible parties for implementing the measure, and the timing of implementation. So that's a key, what's also known as the MMRP is a key component of an EIR. It contains all the mitigation measures and goes through how the project will be in compliance and with those mitigation measures, and who will verify compliance. So because this project is an EIR, it includes findings of fact and a statement of overriding considerations, and that is required pursuant to CEQA guideline sections 15091 for the identified significant environmental impact. So the statement of overriding considerations is a written statement explaining the specific reasons why the social, economic, technical, or other beneficial aspects of the proposed project outweigh the unavoidable adverse environmental impacts. So the statement of overriding considerations is included in your staff report packet. So just some key takeaways of the statement of overriding considerations. So the project benefits outlined in this statement include that the project will expand the city's housing stock and capacity. The project will generate diverse employment opportunities, and the project will provide open space for recreation. And so I think this is an important point. The project includes a park and open space plan that can accommodate approximately 112 acres of open space along the Tule River, including a Class 1 trail, and a 50-foot landscape trail is proposed along State Route 190. And and an arterial road connecting to the open space along the Tule River, which I mentioned before. So these are the project benefits that are included in the statement of overriding considerations. These are 3 of many that are within that document. So in regards to comments received on the master plan, as I mentioned before, there's been lots of public input and public meetings held on the project, and all public comments on the plan itself were incorporated into the master plan. The city did receive a response from the county on the traffic study prepared for the project just this week, and the city will make those minor corrections to the TIA and did provide a response back to the county today to address those comments that were received. And with that, this is the recommended action. So staff recommends that the City Council hold the public hearing to receive comments on the South of the Tule District Master Plan project, and then adopt the draft resolution to adopt the findings required by CEQA, certify the EIR, adopt the mitigation monitoring and reporting program, and adopt a statement of overriding considerations, and also adopt the draft resolution to approve General Plan Amendment 2024-02, and introduce by title only an ordinance to amend the zoning map to rezone the SO2 master plan area, and finally adopt the draft resolution to approve Master Plan 2024-001, adopting the South of the Tule River District Master Plan. And that concludes my presentation, and I am available to answer questions if you have any. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say thank you. We were provided with quite a bit of information to this point, and it is appreciated. So with that being said, it is 7:10. I'm going to open up the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forth on this item? Please do so.
I got some items for the council, Fernando, if you could please. Thank you. I don't know how many stacks that is, maybe 6 papers. I also have a copy of this in the back of the chamber on that table. I only have 1 copy out there. I'm sorry about that. I want to save some paper. So my name is Corey Wells. I'm a resident of Springville. I attended one of the community workshops a couple of years ago. And I was really impressed with the whole ordeal. It was all new stuff to me. I was really impressed with the engagement with the property owners and the community. And it sounds like there's been a lot more done since then. I'm going to express kind of the same things that I was thinking about as I was looking at the plans here. I haven't read through the entire packet. Because it's big and I don't have all the time in the world. But I have on here some pictures, one of Grove City, that's Grove City, Ohio, not California, Grove City, Ohio, and of my vision that I put on here. The area should not, in my opinion, be a neighborhood. It should be a commercial district, and I think that's what the master plan should incorporate and be adopted generally for the whole area, as was said. And the reason being is that the 190 right there is a highway. It's prime development. The city is going to continue to go that direction, develop in the southwest towards the casino, and I think that the commercial zone right there would be beneficial to the entire city and the growth direction. On my district there, on the left, I have all the red and pink are commercial. Up in the blue is all residential. The green is industrial, and then there's some offices and hotels next to the highway there. And then on the new map, I have all in the blue is residential, and the pink and red are commercial, and then along the river is a bunch of park. It's parks. I think that'd be a beautiful park area along the river there, and it should be. But it doesn't make any sense to put a school along the highway. This town, we need more housing supply, but that should not be along the main traffic corridor where all the high traffic area is for moving around, getting to where you need to be. It makes no sense to me, and in my experience, it makes it too cluttered. Driving through Fresno, it's difficult to get through Fresno. It's funny because Fresno, I only got 10 seconds, but Fresno is the same land mass area as Columbus, Ohio, and it takes 20 minutes to get from one side to the other, and Fresno can take up to an hour. It's kind of an experience. So
Thank you,
I
Mr.
recommend
Wells.
it be a commercial district.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forth and speak on this item? Please do so.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sonia Duran Aguilar, and I'm a resident of Porterville. I regret that I was not involved in any of the other community workshops. It looks like there's been a lot of work going towards this master plan. I did manage to do a cursory review of it last night. It's very lengthy and very thorough. I am not an expert, an engineer, or an architect. So a lot of information, a lot of acronyms and jargon I'm not familiar with. So coming forward as a resident that lives in this community, here are my concerns. In reviewing the master plan, my questions have to do, and maybe more clarifying for the young lady that just presented, when you're talking about creating an industrial area, and within the requirements, there is specifically a section that states correctional facility. I'd like to get clarification if that's on the books. It was stated this is master plan, it's vision, maybe there's no shovel in the dirt, but I just want to make sure. I want to ask about that. The other thing has to do with the vision of creating bike paths and parks and bridges. I love the vision. I lived in Southern California for many, many years in Santa Monica, missed the weather, missed the ability to take walks. But because I do live in the Ennis Homes area, that is really just adjacent to the 65. I can tell you when I moved here many years ago, the vision for that area was to have a walking path, to have a playground. It is not safe to run or walk in that area. The homelessness crisis is really reached proportions. And so I ask us, I invite us to think about the unintended consequences of the bike paths and the bridges and creating these wonderful open areas. I think it's lovely. I think it's great. It entices us to be more physically active, but I think that we as a community need to have a way to really determine how we're going to manage homeless individuals, our unsheltered neighbors that need a place to live. So that's the only thing that I thought. I think it's great. It's, I didn't review it all in detail, but those are the questions I had. The industrial area, correctional facilities, and thinking about the unintended consequences where we make it easier for folks to congregate that are unsheltered and they don't have a place to live. I live by the Tule River, and there's an encampment. And so what can we do as a community? Visalia is opening up, Salt and Light. There's a Visalia Navigation Center. What can we do in Porterville that helps our unsheltered neighbors? So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forth? Please do so on this item. Do we have anyone on virtually? Please let them in.
Yes, Your Honor, give me a moment.
Hello?
Hello, please state your name. Oh, I can already see it. It's Kathy.
Hi, this is Kathy Capone. I live in Porterville. I did attend the two community forums on this master plan amendment, and I appreciate that there were these opportunities. Anyhow, so this is what I'd like to say about the master plan. I appreciate that both in the master planning process and the council have looked carefully into the future and that we are planning for the future. I think it makes a huge difference on what we can obtain, what we can build towards if we make good plans ahead of time rather than trying to fill in things when something is already developed. So thank you very much for looking forward to the planning. I do want to briefly address the homeless issue. So I am the president of the Tule River Parkway Association, and we're very active in making improvements and developing gardens and helping with the the cleaning and the maintenance of the Tule River Parkway as it currently exists from at least the section that we deal more with is J to 65. And together with the City of Porterville staff and the SMART program, there has been a really marked improvement in decrease in the impact of the unhoused and our homeless neighbors in that section of the Parkway path. The city is moving towards addressing the needs of those people who are unhoused, and I appreciate that the city council and the city is moving in that direction. Although any of us who are involved in the homeless area of homelessness really wish that it could be 5 times faster than it is, but I understand the difficulties in working on that. But thank you, City Council, for working, and Mayor specifically, for working on the homeless issue. And to the prior speaker, I really think that the more that we can have citizens and public access along the river, the fewer problems that we will have with unhoused people, and the more maybe the public will become informed and sensitive to the needs of those among us who are unhoused. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. It is 7:21. I will close the public hearing and bring it to council. It's been quite good input and good information that has been brought to the table. Councilmember Beltran, any?
Thank you for that report. That was very dense. Time's up. Okay.
Your time is up. No. That's under other matters, okay? Other matters. Okay.
Wow. No, just to the speakers that came up, you're right, it was 1,030 pages. And we got like 3 days to go through that, and it's a lot. Much to both of you had brought up some points. And it's not necessarily that it's a vision of what is going to be there, it's what could be there. And I think just like a lot of, there's going to be a tentative map that's going to be coming up in another agenda item. And those are things that will be brought to council in the future about what does this look like, whether it's commercial, retail, or it's industrial or housing. Our city's growing, and with the growing comes these pains. I appreciate the concern with it being on State Route 190. There's a lot of development that I feel is going to start coming to the south of Porterville, and that's just going to be one of those growing pains. How do we contend with, it looks like roundabouts are starting to come in, stoplights. One of my questions was, it's a little bit of an island that's, Newcomb, for a long time, there's always been this talk, is there going to be a bridge that will ever connect there? And that's something for future council and planners to develop that. Just as this isn't within our city limits, this is, again, rezoning from agriculture to see what that vision looks like. As we learned with the Lombardi situation, we don't get to just select where schools are going to be built. To the correctional facilities, you're right. These are just, it's kind of open-ended. And we hope that those elected officials at those times make good decisions on what the growth of our community looks like. You're right, I could probably spend another month on this just to read this report, but the feedback from city staff was basically allowing development in our community, jobs. People are always talking about jobs, businesses, how do we attract them? Those developers are looking for how things are zoned. And we have to contend with the state of California and the environmental impact. Generally, if I look at this, I said, what impact? There's going to be growth and there's going to be, traffic. But again, through this whole plan, I made a lot of comments to staff, who reads this? I got headache after headache just reading through, I had to take many breaks, but it's in chunks, so this isn't something that was rushed. And again, I appreciate all the reporting. I mean, it is down with a fine-tooth comb of what the state requires, local ordinances require. So there are some issues, and they'll be dealt with when those times come, just as tentative maps come before us and ordinances need to be changed. But I feel very confident with how our city may look in 20 or 30 years. I'm hopeful for it. It's progress I see. And those pains, we'll work through those. Just the homeless, that's an issue. I hope the city, we heard a comment earlier, we are addressing behind the scenes. I know not everybody may see it or feel it, but there are progress. I appreciate Kathy Capone's comments, is that she works down there in that area and she does see the changes that have happened. And so it's not all bad. There are some great things happening. So yeah, just thank you for that report and the staff members that have to have dreams about this. So, because that's all they do all day long. So I appreciate all the staff efforts and your report. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Councilmember Wyrock?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I too want to express my appreciation for the work completed in order to draft this analysis. It must have been very detailed. It is very detailed. The project management team that compiled and submitted this general plan amendment that team really did a great job. I went through it, I spent quite a few hours on it, and I like seeing the reduction in low-density residential from 274 acres, dropping it down to where it's much more broken out, where there could even be some high-density and medium-density housing that might result in some more affordable housing coming to Porterville, and maybe even a nicer subdivision as well. It's just more opportunities for more people to possibly become homeowners. We've spoken a lot about the Tule River and the opportunity it provides our community for recreation and just improved quality of life, and to see the focus with like almost 25% of this area being on parks and bike paths and ways to get people outdoor. It's very, very good. The neighborhood commercials dropping down to about 8 acres, where in the previous plan there was 0 allotted to that. To see professional office space, where the previous plan had no acreage set aside, up to now it has up to 32 acres. And just really good work changing it around and making it more feasible for our city to provide more opportunities to developers and people who will enjoy the different features that they bring. I can imagine, I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and they would love to see more restaurants and these little neighborhood zones, the different types of restaurants that might pop up in the neighborhoods would be really, really nice. I believe future councils, as you were sharing, Councilmember Beltran will do a great job making sure that we understand, what's coming, and the community will have a chance to speak into it. The environmental part of the report showing that the impacts to the air possibly from equipment being used to change the topography may exceed current levels. However, as time goes on, manufacturers make their equipment more efficient. They produce less pollution in many cases, and I'm sure the Air Resources Board will be happy to work with us to make sure the rules at that time are complied with as these developers get to work out there. I really like what has been brought before us tonight, and it is detailed, it is available. I appreciate staff's time going through the different details that we talked about on Monday morning. I thoroughly appreciated that time together. And the relationships staff has developed over the years is really an invaluable aid to our ability to get things done timely and in conformance to the general plan and this new revised plan. I think it's the desire of our residents to have really nice neighborhoods, and this is a big step in the right way. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Meister?
Well, I think a lot of good comments have been made. I don't need to go into great detail. I will say that Porterville led the way in bringing a navigation center to Tulare County. We do have a navigation center in the city of Porterville, plus we have the armory. We have 100 cots for homeless. So we are making progress, as Kathy Capone made the comment. It's not as fast as we'd all like it, but this is a process and we're dealing with humans. And so we have to show compassion and during this process. So with that, zoning could possibly change. This is just the beginning. This is a project that's at least a minimum of 10 to 20, maybe 30 years out. So with that, that's all I have. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Yes, again, also thank you for the report and all the information that comes along with it, including the plans and the maps. I think the council members addressed kind of the homeless concerns that we all have, and that is a very detailed plan that the city has been working on for multiple years prior to even myself being on the council. That's been in progress. And since I've been on council, this body has approved things like the expansion of the armory and the new ordinance and the SMART team and supporting the SMART team to continue to do more work. So I feel like good efforts are in place for that concern that we're all working on. I feel that Kathy Capone made some good comments about the walkway, and thank you for the comment about that. I know that some of our community has that same concern, but I feel like what she's saying is valid, that we want the community to use that space more, and taking up that space, I think, will help that concern. So not to focus too much on that, but I know that's a concern of our community. But with this plan, I feel comfortable with the community involvement that was allowed, the comments, the feedback, the place for, our community to come and give feedback to build on this, and those were incorporated into what we're seeing tonight. So I feel comfortable with that. I like the general plan amendments, and the way that I kind of tackle this is looking at what was proposed, what are the amendments, what's being proposed for the future, and like the other council members stated, these are just proposals, and I like that it's well-rounded. I like that what it shows about the current zoning and then proposed zoning, and it's basically a framework for where we want to go over the upcoming years. I feel comfortable with it, and I think the council members kind of outlined everything else that I have. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, because I remember master plan and the word started years ago, and I'm talking about maybe two former city managers and community being invited, and how the master plan at that time was different, and what the vision was as to where Porterville was going to go. And we've come a long way. And having that, we would be in council chambers, and there were a lot of written things and a lot of things that were just put on long pieces of paper. So that's how far back the discussions have been, numerous years. I'm very grateful to where we are now. Yes, growth and development is important for this community. And what's important is to hear what community members have to say. This is going to continue. It's going to start the framework for the newness of what's to come. And we got the funding in 2021, I believe. We were granted the funds. So we're at 2024. It's time to get it moving. And with the input, I want to say Porterville has been very active. Previous councils, and there were those of us at that time, when we were the first to go out and seek where we could find a location, and the city of Porterville is actually the first one to implement a navigation center with the services. And we're very proud of that. We invested our own money. It was city funds that went into that. And with the idea of future growth, which is going to continue. When we had the flooding, it changed the topography of our river. It changed. So do we control weather? We can't control that. We just don't know where it's going to go. And those are the little sensitivities that staff has to work with. But in the meantime, the framing of where they have come to where it's at now, thank you for that. And I want to thank you for the PowerPoint presentation to condense as to where we are. So with that being said, I encourage community participation in everything that is done. This is just the beginning for the future of that, with the future, it's 30 years out. So I encourage you, with that being said. Council, I'm going to bring it back, and how does council wish to proceed at this point?
I'll make a recommendation to approve staff recommendations 1 through 5.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. If there is no further discussion, let's call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Thank you very much.
Mayor,
Thank you.
Mayor, may I read the ordinance by title only, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Porterville amending the official City of Porterville zoning map to rezone approximately 447 acres, 19 parcels within the proposed South of Tule River SOT 2 District Master Plan Area, rezone 2024-001 to neighborhood, residential neighborhood RN Zone District, consistent with the Porterville 2030 General Plan as amended.
Thank you. Now we will move on to public hearing number 18.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public hearing number 18 is the consideration of amended conditions of approval for Villas at Sierra Meadows 4 and 5 development project, and Ms. Calderon will provide the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Reiner. I have asked Mr. O'Neill to present the item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. As mentioned, what we have before you is a public hearing to consider a revised, effectively a revised tentative map for the Villas at Sierra Meadows 4 and 5 project that the City Council approved in 2023 at a public hearing. And at the same meeting, the City Council adopted a mitigated negative declaration determining that with mitigation, the project would not have the potential to significantly affect the environment. After additional review by the engineering department and meetings with the project applicant, staff is proposing that the rights-of-way and the improvement requirements for Gibbons and J Street should be modified. The analysis contains the recommended revision to the language of condition, what is called condition number 20 in the original resolution. However, there was a numbering mistake in that original condition. Thank you, Microsoft Word. And so it would become condition number 25 under a new resolution, but has the exact same effect, and nothing else other than the numbering is changed from the original resolution that the council adopted. So at this point, we'd request that the mayor opens a public hearing to take any testimony regarding the project, followed by adoption of the attached draft resolution, making minor modifications to the rights-of-way and improvements.
Thank you. It is 7:38. I will open up the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forth on item number 18 of the public hearing? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. It is 7:38, and I will close the public hearing and bring it to council. Council, how do you wish to proceed? Councilmember Beltran? Any comment?
Yeah, thank you for the development team that's here. Given that they don't have any comments, I guess they are fine with the proposals. So I appreciate them being here, though, just in case if we had any questions. But with them not having any questions, I don't have any other comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Wyra?
Very good progress on the project with the developer and staff. Thank you for that effort. that partnership. I have no further questions or comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Meister?
I have none.
Vice Mayor?
No comment.
No comment, no. Then we will move on, and that we accept staff recommendation. We've already had the public hearing, then that we adopt the draft resolution approving the revised conditions of approval for the villas at Sierra Meadows 4 and 5 tentative map.
I second. Is it go to a vote? Correct?
Yeah.
That was a motion?
Yeah.
A second.
Okay. No further discussion, call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Thank you very much for being here. All right, moving on to number 19.
Thank you, Your Honor. Our final public hearing for this evening is the consideration of amendments to Series 200 and Series 300 of the Porterville Development Ordinance, and I've asked Ms. Calderon to provide a staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Reidner. And again, I have asked Mr. O'Neill to provide that staff report.
Thank you again. I will try to make this brief as well. What is before you tonight are some text amendments to the Porterville Development Ordinance, Series 200 and Series 300, related to development standards for industrial zoning. The first would allow medical facilities in the IP zone district subject to a conditional use permit. The second component would reduce the street side setback for personal storage facilities in the IG zone district that are adjacent to an arterial or a collector street from 30 feet to 15 feet. The rationale for that being that personal storage facilities are not generally considered a noxious type of industrial use, such that that enhanced 30-foot setback is really necessary or meaningful for protecting the public safety, health, and general welfare. And the third component of the text amendment relates to the fencing materials that are required for personal storage facilities as well. Currently, the code requires a 6-foot-high solid wall. The proposed amendments would allow between a 6 and 7-foot-high wall and would offer alternatives to the materials, provided that these facilities are not adjacent to residential zone districts. So that's the summary of the proposed amendments. And again, we'd ask the mayor to open the public hearing and take any testimony, followed by introduction and waiver of the first reading of the attached draft ordinance.
Thank you very much for your report. It is 7:42. I will open up the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forth on this? No? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. It is still 7:42, and I will close the public hearing and bring it to council. Any comments, any questions? No?
Yeah, it'll kill some time from other matters. Just like agenda item 18 and 19, something I love seeing is city staff going to work and working with our producers in our community. And I hope that actions like this continue to boost our economy and create jobs in our community. So I appreciate all the hard work on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, any comment? No comment. Okay. Well, since there are no further comments, you're good? Yes. I'm so happy.
Residential neighborhood, but there's going to be a solid wall and not a chain link fence, so that's
Okay. With that being said, we've held the public hearing, and I'm going to make the motion that we approve the staff recommendation on the draft ordinances for all the amended series, and then authorize the approval of the first reading.
A second.
And a second. No further discussion. Call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Jeff, this is your cue. You may leave.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council.
Okay, Mr.
Mayor, may I read by title only? Thank you. It is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Porterville amending Series 200 and 300 of the Porterville Development Ordinance regarding the employment zone districts, IG, General Industrial, and IP Industrial Park.
Thank you for that. Jeff, thank you very much. I know you have a long drive.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll move on to scheduled matters. Number 20.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight we have two scheduled matters for your consideration. The first scheduled matter is the consideration of appointments to the Library and Literacy Commission, and Ms. Andrade will provide a staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Redenauer, Mayor, and members of the council. 3 commissioners on the Library and Literacy Commission have 3-year terms expiring at the end of October 2024. Ms. Esther Figueroa, Ms. Edith Lavon, and Ms. Irene Ortega. Commissioners Figueroa, Lavon, and Ortega have conveyed their interest in continuing to serve on the commission and have submitted requests for reappointment for the City Council's consideration. The commission is comprised of 7 members and serves in an advisory capacity, making recommendations to the City Council on policy and overall goals and objectives for the library. Generally, the commission meets once per month with a hiatus during June and July. To be eligible for appointment, individuals must be residents of the City of Porterville. Tonight's recommendation is that the City Council consider the reappointments of Esther Figueroa, Edith Lavon, and Irene Ortega to the Library and Literacy Commission for terms set to expire in October 2027, and staff is available for questions.
Thank you, and I see Irene is in the audience right now, and Edith was in the audience. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I didn't see you. I didn't see you. Okay, anyone else? Did I miss? First of all, I want to say thank you for continued commitments. It is appreciated.
This is extremely important.
It is. And thank you. Thank you for that. So with that being said, I'm going to make the motion that we accept the slate of appointments on staff recommendation.
I'll second.
No further discussion. Comment? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for your guys' volunteering for this. It's important. All the commissions are important for the community to have, and the council to get feedback on these items. It was brought to my attention that there was comments made in the last library meeting that was made to a city staff member that it's unfortunate some words were used. And so I know this could be passionate for some individuals, but just like as council, they represent the community, and that staff members be treated accordingly during those meetings. But I do appreciate the passion. I do appreciate the volunteer and the dedication to the organization, but just wanted to remind that there's a standard that's to be held during those meetings. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? No further discussion? Call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Thank you. Item number 21.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is our final scheduled matter for the evening, and I'll be providing the staff report. So the League of California Cities Annual Conference is scheduled to take place October 16th through 18th in Long Beach. In addition to the training programs offered, an important aspect of League's conference is the annual business meeting, during that which the membership considers and takes action on resolutions that establish official league policy. This year, the business meeting is scheduled for Friday, October the 18th. In order to vote at this meeting, the City Council must designate a voting delegate. In the event the voting delegate is unable to serve in that capacity, the League's bylaws allow for the designation of 2 alternates. The estimated cost for attendance per council member is approximately $1,571. This cost includes conference registration, materials, accommodations, mileage, and meals. Funding is currently available in the council's travel budget. The staff's recommendation is that City Council designate a member of the council to serve as a voting delegate and up to 2 members of council to serve as alternate voting delegates at the League of California Cities Annual Business Meeting. Staff is available for questions.
I want to say thank you for that, since it is my understanding that we've gone from 3 to 2. I'm going to make the recommendation that Councilmember Wyrock serve as the voting member, and I will position myself as the second, the alternate.
I can second that. Is that a motion?
I made the motion, I made that recommendation. I'm looking right at you. Okay.
If I may, before I second it on the mic, I would like to mention that there are 2 resolutions that we'll be voting on. Resolution number 1 is fair and equal treatment of all governmental officials at all levels, submitted by the City of Glendora. And what that means is what Sacramento says is good for the cities and the city management team and the leadership at the cities is good for those representatives at the state capitol, that if it's good for us and needed for us, it's good for them and it's needed for them. The second item, if I may, I might have that interpretation a little bit off, but it's basically that. Let me turn another page. Actually, I don't have the second one here, but I seem to recall it was about the same type of thing.
So Councilmember, I believe there's just one resolution, and then the other document in the packet was the Cal City staff analysis of that resolution.
Thank you. So I second the motion.
Okay, no further discussion. Let's call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 5-0. Moving right along. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll move on to the AB 1234 reports. The Eastern Tule Groundwater Sustainability, that was carried over from September the 16th. Councilmember Wyrock.
Yes, thank you for allowing me to report at this council meeting. So I was a little confused by the date that was in the agenda last time, and the Eastern Tule GSA did not meet on that date. However, the Finance Committee met on September the 5th. The Land Subsidence Committee met on September the 11th, and they presented in Sacramento at the probationary hearing on September 19th. I believe we have an upcoming GSA meeting this Thursday, and I'll be happy to report out the results of that meeting at our next scheduled council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go a little out of order since there was not a Mighty 190 committee meeting. They did not meet. I'm going to go ahead and do the Tulare County Task Force on Homelessness first and then go into the economic development. The Homeless Task Force met on September the 18th. Claudia Calderon and I attended in person. It was good to see the SMART team in attendance. The minutes for the months of August will be carried over since they were not on the agenda for approval. There was Prop 1 presentation by Dr. Natalie Bolin of Behavioral Health. She provided us with a PowerPoint presentation on the effects of Prop 1, which passed in March, with highlights on Senate Bill 326 with regard to mental health. I'm going to put a note to that because there was a lot of information that was provided to us in this presentation. We asked that the PowerPoint be sent to us. And on a side note, Claudia, Deputy City Manager, and I met with county staff, Dr. Bolin being one of them, and they did come and meet with us here in Porterville, which we did invite them for a future council meeting to give us the presentation and the information, and they agreed to that, so that's coming. There was a presentation on FACES. That was the Visual Arts Center representative and an artist. They were present at the meeting to extend an invitation showing the work of FACES, a photo exhibit with the reflection on images with those who were struggling, who are unhoused, the different facial expressions. Mr. Vasquez shared that he would like to get involved with the community and assist where he can. This was as an open conversation, if any, with regard to prevention as it is related to the strategic plans and the goals, which was the number 4, to prevent homelessness for those at risk, covering the strategies 4.1 through 4.4. There was absolutely no discussion by any of the members that were present to this regard. For the jurisdiction updates, Claudia Calderon reported for the city of Porterville. And as you've heard me share before, we take information, we share with them, and we report out here as well. So we took the information for the Porterville Navigation Center. Claudia reported about the 1,346 some duplicated numbers that have been served at the Navigation Center for Porterville, and 20 people have been housed. The Link Services Committee information, the subcommittee with regard to the new service of the paralegal, the drive-through dinner, and the winter coat drive, which is November the 13th. We're still accepting donations. Then a highlight on the Armory. The city of Porterville continues to operate the Armory from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. as an overnight emergency shelter. The litter abatement program continues, and in this reporting period, 3,450 bags of litter was collected along the local highways. Work crews also continue to enhance their employability and personal development growth through participation in this program. It has been great, and we continue to hear positive feedback. The SMART team, they continue to work with the community and making connections to housing and services. Claudia and I were very happy to see the SMART team there on the drive over. Anyway, that concludes my report. The next meeting is October the 16th. However, we will not be in attendance because it's the League of Cities Conference. Going into the Tulare County Economic Development meeting of September the 25th. This meeting was very brief. Assistant City Manager Jason Ridenhour, Director Claudia Calderon, and I attended in person. There were no public comments. Since there was not a quorum for the August meeting, items were carried over to this meeting. The minutes for June and August were unanimously approved. June, July, and August, financial reports were reviewed, accepted, and approved. There were not any presentations provided at this meeting. The project and client service updates were provided. Currently, there are 34 active files. This is through September the 17th. The most active projects for this month were a distribution and warehousing company seeking 75 to 175 acres of land to buy and build a mid-sized data center, and looking for sites to build infrastructure, transmission lines, substations. Another was a battery storage company is seeking a 60,000 to 100,000 square foot existing building for lease to support battery manufacturing and storage. Then an agricultural sprayer company is seeking 30,000 square feet, a facility, one that is showroom and future manufacturing. No staff updates. New board member representative, replacing the current representative from Valley Strong will be Alexandra Martin, and that was a unanimous approval. That concludes my report. The next meeting is Wednesday, October the 23rd. Moving right along into oral communications. Is there anybody that would like to come forth under oral communications at this time? Hi, Rose. Seeing none, do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now we'll go on into other matters. You can set the timer, okay? This is the time, not, anyway. Council member.
Just want to remind the community about this Saturday, the Pioneer Days, to go down there and enjoy the community, and hopefully the weather, I don't know, we'll see on that one. Tomorrow also, the Chamber of Commerce is doing the Council Candidate Forum, I believe here in Chambers, and so they can watch, I believe, on their YouTube channel. I don't know if they'll have a Facebook live feed, but just want the community to be engaged and listen to what the candidates have to say. And then as well, tomorrow's also the ribbon cutting for the Sierra, I'm trying to remember the name, Santa Fe Byway. Santa Fe Byway. Too many names in my head. Yeah, that's a great project. That's going to be the ribbon cutting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Again, I want to thank staff for the Southern Tulare Master Plan. Wow. I saw the binder on the counter when I went into the meeting, and yeah, they could be use for fuel for a long time in a fire. But no, just all the time that's taken. These aren't things that are rushed, and everything is looked over, and I appreciate staff keeping our city in compliance, just looking at all the changes that need to be done. Just thank you for that dedication. One last thing I just remembered right now was the animal control, the animal services facility is already at capacity, and that was, I think, their first month open. They're already at capacity. So just reminding community members, when they get a pet, when they see something cute at the store or online, that is a commitment for that pet's lifetime. That's not until they're kids get tired of it, or it's grown too big and it's not cute anymore. The commitment to that animal that they got, that's a commitment to the life of that animal. So just stressing already the service that we have here. Just remember, be a responsible pet owner.
Thank you. Councilmember Wyrock.
Thank you. To have the honor to recognize people that have served the city for so long is just an amazing part of serving on the council. And I'd like to thank all of their families who support them behind the scenes. Thank you for sharing your family members with us. I came across an activity with our public safety officers this week or about a week ago, that could have been very intense. And in some cities, things can go out of control quick. And it was easy to see the training and the professionalism of these responders in that moment, the calmness, the relaxed state, the rehearsed motions. I just applaud the training efforts of our police department. I know it happens in our fire department as well. And thank you for helping keep us safe. I think the last council meeting I was here, I mentioned about safe driving and some speeders. I want to reiterate that. I was out on, I think it was Sunday, and there was a motorcycle traveling eastbound on Henderson, and a vehicle pulled out, and not sure the details, but the motorcyclist did not survive. Please be careful behind the wheel. Don't drive distracted. Please don't race on our roads. We'll notice and we'll take action. And I want to thank the police department for their service in helping our roads stay safe. I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce. They've got a very dynamic schedule. I received an invitation to go to the Porterville Wellness Center. This is a place where people can go and develop friendships so that when that facility is closed, they have someone they can call when they need help. And the people that frequent that facility sometimes do need that help. And they have friends and resources that are available to them. I applaud Kingsview for all of their help here in our community, a great community partner. I'm thankful that we have them here. What an example, these individuals that received their certificates here for 10 years, 20 years. How many was it, 30, Shannon, for you? You can't come to work at Porterville and work your entire career here. It's a good place to work and raise your family. Item 4 on the agenda, the professional services agreement to Fair and Peers, I believe, is a fantastic piece of work. Thank you for that, as well as item 9 and 10. And as regards to item 17 and the SO2 development, I just want to say that if people don't know, I want them to be very, very sure to hear that Porterville is open for business. And we'll do all we can to help you be successful here. Please bring your companies here, and we'll do all we can to find you the space and to help you be successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Meister.
Well, one thing I want to address from oral communication earlier, Mr. Horowitz coming in and making the comments about his trash not being taken out, but he actually called me that day, and we did service that trash can that day. Someone illegally had dumped in his trash can, and his story is true about the tire. But when city staff or refuge went to dump the dumpster, the tire was removed. Not only that, but city staff cleaned up the feces that was left by a homeless individual or someone experiencing homelessness, or who knows, someone from Don Vino's or something, who knows. But the fact is that city staff went to work on the issue, and the tire wasn't there. And so I guess thank you for bringing the tire so that we could finish the job, but I did not like the display. I do appreciate staff going to work and addressing those issues, and when there are calls with complaints, I've seen that go forward, so I appreciate that. Some exciting things, I already discussed agenda item 18 and 19 tonight. I love seeing discretion from city staff going to work, being able to keep our producers producing in our community. It's very important, and I hope we continue those efforts going forward. I do appreciate that. Agenda item number 7 tonight, $1 million from the county of ARPA funds to help us with people experiencing homelessness, and it's a big deal. I called and thanked Dennis Townsend today for working with Jason Britt to get us those dollars, and I appreciate the staff work on delivering there. And then something I didn't pull, I discussed with staff yesterday, was agenda item number 3. It is for the reconstruction of the in front here of this where Fernando's sitting, and redialing this in, and some things that I thought that would be nice to the council chambers in the future. One, we talked about camera system and microphones upgrades, and that's something that is in the future that is being looked at. But something I wanted to add, and I'm not asking for a motion or schedule matters yet, but I think in the future, and I just want to plant the seed, I'd like to see a tile mosaic, e pluribus unum, underneath the city of Porterville seal here, a mosaic seal, in God we trust, e pluribus unum, and it's Latin. It means out of many one, and we have a diverse community, and we are many, but we are one. And it's actually a motto that was adopted in 1776, and I'd like to keep trying to restore that spirit in our community. So it's something I'd like to see in the future, and just wanted to plant that seed. And then, yes, exciting night with staff, Employee of the Month, Angelica, military service to our police department, Donnie Moore, 25 years, Shannon Skiles, 30 years, just amazing. And I got to complete what you were trying to say earlier before you said, I thought this when I was drinking, but what you were trying to say is the majority of your life has been in service to your community. And I greatly appreciate that. And I think of like Donnie Moore, 25 years and 30 years for yourself. And just think of the lives you've impacted along your journey. So thank you for your service, and thank you all tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
I wanted to first thank you for the comments, council member, about the refuse pickup and the tire example out here. I wasn't aware of all the efforts that went through regarding a phone call and then call to the city, and then the efforts to go pick up the trash. I just thank you for bringing that up, and also thank you to the team that worked on that to try to make an effort there. The next thing I wanted to acknowledge is tomorrow, the ribbon cutting for the trail. I will have to miss it, and it's like a very significant job responsibility that I have, or I would be there in a minute. And I'm very proud of that project. I'm proud of all the work and the partnership that the staff did with the tribal representatives and just the community in general. And I think our community, I already see people using it, even when it was closed, people were using it, but it's going to be a beautiful place to walk with our families. So thank you for that. The next thing I wanted to say was one of the fortunate things that we get to do up here, and I know the council members mentioned it, but the Employees of the Month, and congratulations on that, and then also the years of service, and to hear the 10, 20, 25, and 30 years of service to our city. I mean, I love hearing the highlights of the career, but also the highlights of the family, because it's because of the support of the family that we get to have these employees, valued employees, be a part of all the services that are provided to us in our community and our family. So I just want to really thank you for that and acknowledge you all for being here and everything that you do for us. And then the last thing I just want to say is thank you, Councilmember Beltran, for bringing up the library facility planning meeting. I chair those meetings, and that was unfortunate, the comments that were made to our staff. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it was kind of an awkward situation that I didn't want to draw more attention to what was going on, and I was hoping it would stop. But I do see that going forward, I would love to see the council be very consistent in that with all of our staff. If there's something that we don't agree with, I mean, absolutely bring it up. But there's a way to treat people that are providing service to us in our community, and they're just here doing their jobs, whatever role that is. So thank you for bringing that up publicly, especially tonight. And I wanted to apologize to our staff that I did let that go on a little bit too long, and that's unfortunate, and that's on me. But I would also like to use that example moving forward to commit to do that and support our staff in going forward. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. I had the honor of being at the promotional ceremony for the police department, and once again, congratulations for those who were promoted: Lieutenant Oscar Ibarra, Sergeant Maria Aguillon, Sergeant Marcia Morales, Sergeant Justin Ellisted, Sergeant Darrell Locke, and then Senior Communications Dispatcher Maria Juarez. In my tenure on council, I have only missed one swearing-in ceremony, and that was for the fire department because I had a medical appointment on that day. But it has been very important to be at all the new hires, all the swearing in of both police and fire department, all the promotional ceremonies, to be very supportive of those that are being hired, as well as those who have the years of service, because you're bringing in new recruits as they graduate, and how they just smile. They're so young, and how they have chosen public safety to be their future. So that to me is very warm felt, and I commend those that are coming in and those that have the service. And I'm looking at Rose. One more year? Okay. That's all I'm going to say. And then I had the honor of being at the Bells Across America on September the 22nd. I have gone every year and have presented a proclamation, and this year they were celebrating the 237th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution. And the ceremony is wonderful if you have never attended, because they have the Boy Scouts present the flags, all the flags, and then there's a story given to that. And then this year they had the folding of the flag ceremony, which was done by the Porterville Military Academy. And once again, it was wonderful to be a participant there. I want to say thank you to a department that hardly gets a recognition, and that's IT. They're very important to the framing of all departments. It's a lot of work, and if you notice the day that we had Fernando out, Robert was there, and how they navigated the computer system so that Fernando could actually be the one to run it from where he was at, and Robert was watching and overseeing that there were no flaws. So as an advocate for technology, I do hope that some of those upgrades will happen on the dais as well, and for other departments, because law enforcement and the fire department would be lost without the technology that they have, because a lot of that infrastructure to be able to service from county to county, especially with the vehicles that are stolen. And for you in Public Works, amazing how that helps you. And even for, Parks and Recreation, all the departments, there was a point in time where, yeah, everything had to be paper and everything was this high. It's not necessary anymore, because if you don't have the technology, you're lost. And yes, we do get upset when there's a flaw or a glitch, but it can be solved. With that being said, would you like to say something? Would you like? I was lost too. I thought I was the only one, but they worked on it. I called. I still have a landline. Okay, so I called City Hall on my landline, and said, you can't reach me. Can we have your number? No, because it's unlisted. It was funny. But anyway, thank you, each and every one of you. Jason, I'm tired. I was
Thank
trying, I don't know who has the time. Claudia does.
Thank you, Your
Karen
Honor.
does.
I'll be speaking for the next 31 minutes. That- By title only, and that's in recognition of, just want to invite the community and the council out tomorrow morning with Coffee with the Cop at Stafford's. It'll be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can see Captain Manus and Captain Moore and possibly even Assistant Chief Bartow. So that'd be a great event, as well as this weekend, looking forward to Pioneer Days, as Councilmember Beltran stated, as well as tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we had the ribbon cutting. Staff has worked very hard on the Santa Fe Byway, from writing the grant, receiving it, to having it come to life. It's been a great project, so that's all I have, and thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, if nobody else wants to say anything, it
I
is.
just want to say cheers.
Cheers. 8:50.